Okay, so before we get into the video, I'd like to explain a little bit more about what happened and what is going to happen. It was about 3 a.m. in the morning. It takes a lot to set these lights up. I'll go through some of these lighting setups in just a moment. But so it wasn't the best video in the world, but you get the idea of a product shoot that I did for Bodega Bay Rum Company. Um, it was a lot of fun. Bottles are hard to shoot. It takes a little photoshopping. And let me go through a little bit of my lighting system here with you. These are kind of the lower grade, cheap end light system. So basically it just helps out with the atmosphere. Great for video and stuff. I mean, a lot of cameras nowadays don't need a lot of light. So these things work out really well for that. But let me show you what's inside a little bit. So bear with me on the noise. This is a diffuser. So diffusers help with a lot of the shadows. So if you see shadows on people's faces, they'll go from heavy duty shadows. The lines go from shadows, real dark, to light right away. Well, these actually give a softer light, so you'll get a nice fade from shadow to the light. So it gives you a softer look. It just gives you that movie look. So the bigger the softbox, the softer look you get. But also inside here, we have this silver lining. It's hardly hard to see the silver lining right now. With the bright light going on in there. And then another diffuser in front of that hangs in front of that to help diffuse the light. So, oops, I'm looking in the monitor again. Shouldn't be doing that. But anyways, to help diffuse that light again. So you get that nice soft look. Now you can even go a little bit further with that and put, paper over it, like butcher paper, sheets, whatever, something that's transparent. You could use something with color to give color in the scene. These are 5600K, so they're all balanced, the same lighting. So you get that nice light on the subject matter. They can be used in interviews, product shoots, things of that nature. If you don't want to break the bank, these things are great. The thing in my situation is that I have to break them down and put them back together, and it's not always easy to do that. But if you're traveling, that's great. They fit in a small case with some wheels on it, a little handle that pulls up, and I can roll those right behind me. Once they're set up, they're great to use. So there you have it. So here's the video. Check it out. Well, hello. We're here to talk about product photography. I'm shooting some bottles today. Stay tuned. So here we are in the studio shooting some bottles. We've got some soft lights set up here in the background. We've got a reflector screen in the back, a white reflector. These are actually bottles of rum that we're shooting for Bodega Bay Rum. So we've got a softbox on the left, softbox on the right. We've got another slight or rectangular, got a rectangular softbox here to give us those really nice lights on the bottle. As you can see, those lights kind of change around a little bit. So you can move your lights around and try to find the best spot for them. I've moved them around quite a bit, found a whiteboard. I have actually a tether station set up behind me with my camera here on a cable. There's a cable to my camera. It runs to a laptop over here that tethered up onto this laptop. I also have another camera over there. Sorry guys, I don't have the screenshot on the other laptop, so it's going to be some probably flicker in the video, but you'll get to see some of the shots I take. So what I had set up before is I was doing single bottles, and I set up a piece of paper on the background. I'll show you. Basically this paper I use, it's a roll. And you can roll this down and off and over the edge of the table. And I was working with that when I first started. Unfortunately, this was too narrow for the family shot of the bottles. So behind me I have this family shot. I was able to bring out my reflector and fill up the extra space, so I didn't have to fill that in Photoshop. So I'll just have to do a little touch up in Photoshop. So let me explain to you what I'm doing exactly and how I'm doing it. So I'll try to look in the lens more often. I'm just looking at this whole setup. I'm pretty amazed and overwhelmed with everything I had to set up to do this video. Got 2 video cameras. I've got my my Canon 5DS here. And then not to include, it took me probably a couple hours just to set up this. This is not something I leave set up. It's I set this up as I go. So yeah, it goes in a nice little box. It slides under my desk in the office, and out of sight, out of mind until I need it again. This also is a great setup for interviews. If you want to do an interview, this actually works as a hair light. It works really good. This one here, it goes up really high onto a boom. But you can see, I don't know if you can see that boom. Yeah, you can kind of see the boom there. Let's get the boom back behind it. That moves up and down really nicely. If you want to go way up high and come down with that light, come down over someone's, sorry, I keep looking at the monitor because I need to see if I'm in focus, but it goes down over people's head and gives them a nice hair light. But now we're talking about product photography right now, so let's go back over here. Got my camera set up. I'm set it up at 7.1 f-stop, and I got an ISO of, let's see, what's my ISO on this right now? I've got an ISO of 100, so got quite a bit of light. Shutter speed is set, and we're all good to go here. So what we're going to do is get a nice shot of this first, the way it is. So I've got it set up on a timer. You might want to set these up on timers. Use the on-screen mode if you can, the live mode. What that does is opens up the mirror so you get less vibration in the camera. I've got a nice carbon fiber tripod here that absorbs a lot of vibration. I've got a 90 millimeter Carl Zeiss macro lens that I'm using on this shot. Seems to work really nice, comes out pretty good. So let me go ahead and take a shot. I got it on 2-second timer, and here we go. So we'll go look at the computer and see what it looks like. And it's bringing up the next. And it looks a little too bright. So what we're going to do is dial it down. Bring down the shutter speed and do it again. So you move lights around, you play with shutter speeds, ISOs, things of that nature, again, and see what you can get out of it. There's another shot of some bottles. Those look pretty good. I could probably work with those in Photoshop. Now what I want to do possibly is bring them down another, the light down again, just so I get a darker shot. Sorry, the dogs are barking. Again, I'm at my home doing this, and I apologize for some of the noises and things in the background, but here we go. Here's another shot. And that is even better, actually. So you get the idea of how you can do this shot. Now, the single bottles were a little easier than the family setup. I had to space everything out, make sure everything was lined up, and get those shots. So try it out. Next time you do a product shot, set up some stuff like this. You can use some regular lights, can lights, whatever you can get your hands on. Set those guys up. Move your bottles around, get the labels, and we're going to pull this into Photoshop later. I probably won't drag you through all the Photoshop editing. That's probably another lesson altogether. So what I'll do is I'll just touch these up, and then I'll show you the final images when I'm finished. So thanks for watching, and again, we're here to teach and educate in a real atmosphere. Again, I'm glad you guys are joining me, but please subscribe if you can. Give me a thumbs up. That really does help, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.